Welcome back to Boilers and Beyond. I'm Jordan Jones. It was more of the same for Purdue in a 35-0 loss to Oregon, the program's first shutout defeat since 2013. Another very disappointing comparison to the Darrell Hazel era in a season that has been full of them. We'll break down the loss to Oregon here today, kind of look at what went wrong, and then we'll talk about Purdue going into the bye week, where Purdue stands as a 1-6 football team with 5 games to go here in the 2024 season. If you don't already, be sure to follow the show on Twitter, @BoilersBeyond. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so that you don't miss a thing. You can always send questions for the show to Twitter, @BoilersBeyond, or via email, boilersandbeyondpod@gmail.com. I don't have a ton of predetermined stuff I'm going to talk about here. We're kind of freestyling this. 8:33 in the morning. Got back to Indianapolis after 1, so we're just going to go with this. Look, it was more of the same from Purdue. No one in their right mind went into this game expecting Purdue to win. I don't know that anyone in their right mind really went into this game expecting it to be super close, but what you wanted to see was Purdue be competitive, was Purdue kind of hang around. Whether Purdue did that is kind of up to you. I mean, Purdue didn't score, so there's that. One thing that stood out, once this game was kind of decided, and by decided, I think I mean when Oregon went up 21-0, I thought Oregon kind of treated this thing like a practice. Oregon goes down and scores, I think, on its first 3 drives. And at that point, the game was over for all intents and purposes. Purdue wasn't going to come back and win. So I thought Oregon kind of treated it like a practice. You saw Oregon do a weird little squib kick thing that went out of bounds, where it was trying to really corner a kick at the 3-5 yard line. To me, that looked like a practice thing. I didn't think Oregon would do that in a game that was decided. Oregon had a kicker that could get it through the back of the end zone. I think you just do that. But I think you're trying to try something. When you're in a position like Oregon is, you have a college football playoff to prepare for. Now that you beat Ohio State, there's no mystery. You're going to have a shot to win the national title. Oregon lined up for a 51-yard field goal on a 4th and 2 play. If you've watched Oregon football under Dan Lanning, that's not what Dan Lanning does. He is kind of Dan Campbell in how aggressive he is going for it on 4th down. He's kind of the analytics model of whatever is going to give us the best expected value we're going to do. And in that situation, kicking does not give you the best expected value. But if you're in a playoff game, you got to know what you're able to do. And Oregon gave it a shot. It missed. If that game wasn't 21-0, if that game was still in doubt, does Oregon go for it there? Probably. Oregon probably gets it. This game certainly could have been worse, 35-0, but, it probably would have been 28-0 going to half without a strange pass intentional grounding call on Dylan Gabriel. That didn't make a bit of sense to me. And at that point, you just knew it was over. I mean, Purdue hung around. And do give Purdue some credit here. Purdue moved the ball okay. 300 net yards. Granted, some of that came in garbage time. I mean, Max Clare had a fairly long reception there on Purdue's final drive that helped pad the stats a little bit. What was it? 23-yard catch. It's kind of relative when you only throw for 93, but Purdue helped pad the stats a little bit late. But Purdue moved the ball. Once the ball crossed midfield, once the ball crossed Oregon's 40-yard line or so, then the success kind of ran out. You could see Oregon just sit back, and Purdue wasn't going to move the ball on it. Oregon could have more guys closer to the line of scrimmage, and Purdue doesn't have game changers on the outside to go downfield and to go make plays. Granted, Purdue didn't really try to make plays downfield, and that puts the offense in a really weird spot. It's very anti-Purdue. And that's okay. I've never 100% bought into that every Purdue coach needs to be the same in terms of a spread out, throw the ball downfield attack. But this just looks strange. Purdue runs 59 plays, 40 of them rushes, 19 passes. Now, there are a few pass plays in there where Brown got sacked or Brown went ahead and ran. But, this is kind of a run-first offense right now. And, looks designed to help shorten the game, to get Purdue out of there quicker. And I don't know that that's really a great sign. It's a very telling sign of the reality of where Purdue is. But, this didn't do a ton for me. Ryan Brown made some plays with his legs, but at 9 for 19 passing, there's just not a lot there. There's not a lot there. 9 for 19 for 93 yards. You're really limiting yourself there. I don't know that you can win football games in that manner. I don't know that Purdue was trying to win on Friday necessarily, but, it kind of did the job. It helped shorten the game. Purdue wins the time of possession battle by a couple of seconds. It is what it is. It's a limited offense. It's limited with Hudson Card. It's limited with Ryan Brown. And as we go into this bye week, Purdue does have a decision to make there at quarterback. I don't know that there's a right answer. I really don't. This is a very different offense than what Purdue was asking Hudson Card to run. I think Hudson Card could do a lot of this stuff. He is mobile. Now, is he equipped in kind of the zone read stuff? I don't know. But he's a better passer than Ryan Brown is. It ultimately comes down to what you're trying to accomplish here. Are you trying to put points on the board? Are you trying to shorten the games? Are you trying to do a mix? I don't know. Purdue doesn't really have an identity on offense right now. And that's very problematic, but it's very telling of why this season is where it is. It was another game where Purdue did not score in the first quarter. This is now 6 straight games where Purdue hasn't scored in the first quarter. I've brought it up a couple of times here, but in that Notre Dame game, there was a graphic on screen that Purdue had the worst first quarter point differential in the country since Ryan Walters took over. It was like minus 60 or something at that point. Since then, it's been 59-0. Purdue hasn't scored in the first quarter. It's not like that stat means everything, because you play 4 quarters, but it's awfully telling when you can't come out and get much going. And I don't know what Purdue's scripting. I don't know if Purdue's just kind of going out there and playing ball, but whatever it's doing, there's a significant lack of element of surprise to the defense because Purdue's not getting much going right now. The offensive line is just... Oregon's a tough one to gauge it against because Oregon is substantially better. And everything I say on this episode comes with the caveat. This is varsity versus JV. This is not 2 teams on the same level playing. And that's part of what you get with this expanded Big Ten. In past years, this game is Minnesota. This game is Maryland. This game is Rutgers. This game isn't Oregon. That's kind of the problem here. This is kind of the cost of doing business in an expanded Big Ten. You get more of these games, but, you're not on the same playing field. Oregon operates in a whole different ballpark of Purdue. It's a program that genuinely wants to win a national championship and, has Phil Knight funding an NIL program to do so. And Purdue that, probably isn't able to do that. And that's no shot at Purdue. It's just a reality. Expecting Purdue to come out and win games like this just isn't fair. But, also losing 35-0, well, you can't do that either. It was another really good crowd on Friday night, about 4,000 shy of a sellout. Fans stuck around longer than I thought. But at the end of the day, it's just another footnote in what's been a really disappointing season. And on the defensive side of the ball, this is a Purdue is not close to what it wants to be there. I know Nyland Green missed the game, and it sounds like he is going to miss a lot of time. Ryan Walters was kind of hush-hush about that in the post-game presser, but the indications weren't promising that they're going to be getting Nyland Green back anytime soon. Purdue did some different stuff. I mean, you saw Dylan Thieneman come in and play the slot corner spot a little bit. You saw Smiley Bradford play a ton at safety, but I mean, Oregon had its way through the air. Dylan Gabriel, 21 of 25 for 290, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty good. Oregon goes 5 for 5 in the red zone, scoring touchdowns on all 5 of them. At one point in this game, I mean, Oregon, after that 6-play, 99-yard touchdown drive, I think the stat was Oregon had run 24 plays and had first downs on 13 of them. And in there was the series in the red zone that got to fourth down. Purdue had no answers. And whether it's in zone, whether it's in man, the secondary just doesn't have a chance against capable passing attacks. The run defense was better. Oregon only averaged 3.7 yards per carry, so give Purdue some credit there for improvement. But all in all, I mean, the defense isn't good enough. I don't know, Ryan Walters is not on the defensive side of the ball right now at all. It's all Kevin Kane. Is that fair? Is that not? I don't know. I don't know that it's putting Purdue in the best position to succeed, but I don't know what does put Purdue in the best position to succeed right now. Purdue still has the same maddening pre-snap penalties. You saw more false starts. You saw more offsides. You saw an unsportsmanlike conduct on a kickoff fair catch. I mean, it's just stuff like this that it's not like the penalty numbers were as bad as they had been. What Purdue finished with 6 for 40 yards, so it's not like it's the end of the world, but you have 4 false starts. 2 of them were coming out of timeouts. I mean, it's the little things that add up and are also just a poor reflection. And that's kind of where Purdue is right now. I guess you avoided a special teams disaster, but you did miss a field goal in there. I mean, it's just these things that keep adding up and adding up and adding up. And look, Purdue could have scored. Purdue had a few chances where it could have kicked the sad field goal, and Purdue went for it on fourth down. I don't know that this was Purdue's worst offensive performance of the year. It was better than Notre Dame. It was probably better than Nebraska, but it still wasn't good. Might have been better than Wisconsin, but none of them were particularly good. This is going down as a really bad offense, and I think, while I don't want to be too overly critical here, last week's success at Illinois probably had quite a bit to do with Illinois and this familiarity that Ryan Walters had with what Illinois wanted to do defensively, and the familiarity with that scheme, and maybe using all of his bullets in one game from a play calling perspective. We'll see. Purdue has 2 more weeks to figure some stuff out, but it's a bad offense and it's a bad defense. There's not a whole lot to really hang your hat on right now. Purdue goes into this bye week 1-6 in a real sense, where this season has been as bad as you could have imagined. I don't take much joy in saying that, but I mean, if I came on here at the start of the year and said Purdue was going to be 1-6 at the bye week, my Twitter replies would have been a disaster. People would be boycotting the show. But that's the reality of where Purdue is. I did not see this coming. I certainly didn't think Purdue was going to be great this year, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. You're 1-6. You still have 2 games against top 5 opponents. Indiana's going to be out for blood. Indiana's going to be a ranked opponent who is going to want to drag Purdue in that game. I mean, you're really looking at a situation here where you have Northwestern, you have a Friday night road trip to Michigan State, and those are your 2 winnable games left. I guess anything can happen in a rivalry, but you'd have to suspend some disbelief to envision Purdue winning in Bloomington. it's a pretty sad state of affairs. I mean, Purdue fans keep showing up, but it's pretty clear right now. I mean, the frustration of the fan base is at a fever pitch. You can't go on Twitter, you can't go on message boards without seeing it, and it's all kind of justified. I mean, that's the hard part of this, is that there's not a whole lot right now that you can point at and say, oh, they're doing this well, they're close. Right now, Purdue doesn't look close, and I don't know what the best steps are to get close, but as we sit here in the aftermath of a 35-0 loss to Oregon, you're now 1-6. 5 of those 6 losses have been by 17 points or more. 3 of those have been in just complete blowout fashion by 35 or more. And you're just kind of sitting here wondering what the future looks like. And I don't know if we'll know this week. I don't know if that's something that's going to drag out. But ultimately, Purdue's got some decisions to make at some point about this. And we'll see what it ends up doing. Again, we've got a bye week here. Northwestern on deck. So, Purdue should be in good shape for that Northwestern game. I mean, that's your game to win. Home game, sold out crowd. We'll see if it's actually full. But that's your game to win. Opponent's not great. Sorry, Northwestern fans. Opponent's not great. That's your shot. Does Purdue do anything with it? We'll see. But Purdue's got a whole lot to look at here in the next 2 weeks, but at the same time, there aren't questions anymore. We know what this team is, and that's the hard part. This team is getting blown out by enough that I don't think they're leaving a whole lot to imagination. The only question is when does it end? The season doesn't end until Thanksgiving weekend, until like November 30th, but we already know how the season is going to wind up. So we'll see what Purdue does in prep for the bye week. We'll see if there's any news out of there to talk about. Next episode, unless there's news this week, will be the Purdue basketball preview episode coming late this week, early next week. I know that's something that everyone gets excited about. I'm going to do the ad read here and we'll wrap this up. This episode is brought to you by me, yes, me. When I'm not watching sports, or more accurately, talking about them, I'm talking insurance with the people of Indiana. As an agent with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, I want to help you protect what you've worked hard to achieve. From home and auto to life and business insurance, I'm here to help you. Give me a call at 317-846-5861 or email me at jordan.jones@infarmbureau.com, and let's protect you from life's everyday risks. Thank you guys for listening. I know this season has not been fun for most of you. That's completely understandable. I appreciate those of you tuning in. Better days do lie ahead for this program. We'll be back again, as I said. Purdue basketball preview episode. Send in those questions on Twitter at Boilers Beyond. Email the show, boilersandbeyondpod@gmail.com. Let me know what you want to talk about as it pertains to the upcoming hoop season. Until then, guys, enjoy this weekend of football. Enjoy the beautiful fall weather. Take care.